What I want to teach you now is what we call formula auditing. What do I call it?
Formula auditing.
Formula auditing. Why do we need formula auditing? You know, most times people now work with Excel. Instead of files, you see all your files in Excel. So sometimes when you get a new employment or a new job roles and people hand over volumes of Excel sheets to you containing different formulas, containing different functions, the first responsibility you owe yourself is to understand that Excel sheet very well. Check it one by one, see what each of them contains, because for you to meaning out of the data, for you to be able to do for, you must understand how the data is arranged, the content of the data, the meaning of the data, and what each of the data item, data set, rows, and column, what each of them represent. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Put your cursor on formula. I want to show you something now. Is your cursor on the formula ribbon?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, on the formula ribbon, where you have formula auditing, have you seen the section where you have formula auditing? After define names, the next one is formula auditing. Very good. Just hold on. Let's take our time to understand it. Now you can see the option, trace precedent, trace dependent, remove arrows, show formulas, error checking. Now click on show formula. Click on show formula, not evaluate formula, show formulas. What do you notice on that Excel sheet?
Yeah, instead of values, it's showing the formulas.
It shows all the formulas you have used.
Yes, sir.
So when you are trying to get a new Excel sheet, or even the one you have worked on before and you have forgotten one or two things. So this tells you all the formula that you have used. And if you don't want to see the formula again, you click on the show formula again. It keeps to show you the values. Click on it again, you keep seeing the values. I need you to do it. Have you done it?
I should do what, sir?
Click on the show formula again. It begins to show you the values.
Yeah, it's back to the values now.
Exactly. So just click to activate, click to deactivate. Is that fine?
Okay, sir.
Very good. Now, you discover that the other time when I was explaining conditional formatting to you,
yes, sir,
the data in W5, I want to change it. But every other one here are formulas. The ones that are not formulas, that are real values, are your week values from your week 1, week 2, week 3, up to week 8. Those ones are the ordinary values. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, place your cursor in M5. You know, M5 is a value, 300. Put your cursor in M5.
Yeah, it is.
Very good. Now, let us look at how many cells, how many other cells did
Hello?
depend on this M5 change. Their own value will also change. You know, your cursor is on M5 now.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Click on trace dependent just once. Do you see trace dependence?
Yes, sir.
One, that's precedent. That's precedent. Dependent.
Okay.
The one down. The one down. Just once. Once. Have you clicked? Do you see what happened now?
Yes, sir.
All these values is telling you all these values depend on 3 or that this on cell M5. That if the value of cell M5 changes, all this value will change. You can see. You can see. Just hold on. You know, you just click it only once.
Yes, sir.
So these are cells that depend on it for their answer. At everywhere where you see arrow, each of them, some don't have arrow. For instance, if you look at that row 5, there is no any arrow up until you get to column V and column U and V.
Yes, sir.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
Now, that is first layer. Those are everything you see now, they are not the only one, but they are the one that will be affected primarily. So any other cell that depend on those other cells too will be affected. Do you understand the relationship now?
Yes, sir.
Now, so click that trace dependent again the second time. Have you clicked it the second time? Do you see
Yes,
now?
sir.
It has
Yes,
extended it.
Mm.
So it means all these other new ones are the one that depends on the one that depends on that one.
Mm.
Are you tracing it now?
Yes, sir.
So click it again for another time.
Mm.
Do you see that again? So these other ones depend on those ones again. So which means if the value of that data in M5 changes, all these ones where you're having arrows at them will change because they depend on a data set that depend on that M5.
Yes,
Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Now, click it again another time. Let's see whether we still have more. Do we still have more?
No, that's it.
So this is what we call formula auditing, tracing. So any change in that value, these are the cells is going to affect.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Very clear.
All right. So what you need to do now, you can remove the arrow. Just click on remove the arrows. The arrows will go. The remove the arrow is under trace dependence. You see it. Has the arrow gone?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, you know that 800 in M5 is a value you type. So click on trace precedent. You won't see anything. Trace precedent. That's the first one. You won't see anything because it does not depend on any value. It's a direct value that you type. It does not depend on any value. It is other values that depend on it as a result of computation. It's other values that depend on it as a result of computation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Command required the active cell contain a formula which include parameters. So click OK. That's just trying to emphasize what I said. Click OK. I will click OK.
Yes, sir.
Now, put your cursor now on W16, where you have the average. That average, W16, where you have 1587.59. Is it W16 or 17?
16.
Good, W16. This one now, nobody depend on it. So it doesn't have dependence, but it has people you depend on. So click trace precedent just once. Click trace precedent just once. Do you see? Those are the people that it depends on directly.
Mm.
Because it is the average of all this one that is there. So these are the data I depend on directly. But you know, these other data too, they are as a result of some other data. Because they are summation.
Yes, sir.
So click the precedent once again.
Mm.
Do you see now?
Yes, sir.
They depend on all these values. Do you see now?
Yes,
you can
sir.
see this is where all your formula starts. So you can see the second layer. Click on it to get the third layer. Do you see now? Because it is all those values that give back to the other one. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now?
Yes,
so
sir.
you understand precedent and dependent.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the value that depend on a value and the value that is dependent on other value. And you can see how to get it layer by layer, layer by layer. Is that clear?
Very clear, sir.
Do you understand it properly?
Yes, sir.
Very fine. So take time to practice and practice it again.